Hi guys, welcome back. Today we will be talking about this video by Amir Odom. He just posted like 45 minutes ago. It's called Why Millennial Teachers Are Quitting Their Jobs. I know I said that I was gonna talk about Hyuna and how I think she is quitting the K-pop industry, but doing research I couldn't find any proof of that. Like all I found was her quitting. I mean, the last thing she posted on YouTube, or the last thing that was posted on her YouTube, was 10 months ago about her album. Was it Attitude? Yeah, Attitude. And then just some Reddit post from a year ago till I found out Hyuna had a comeback. I'm not surprised someone is talking about it. It's the first Reddit link I clicked. And then is Hyuna still dating Jung? Apparently they are married now. And my nose is still stuffy if you can't tell. And on her Instagram, her last post was on 26th November 2024, and I think this is during their honeymoon because according to the AI on Google, they got married in October. Oh yeah, they reportedly married in a private ceremony and sold in October 2024. So I guess she's just on a marriage vacation leave. I don't know. So no concrete proof. That's why there's nothing about reporting. So let's just go to Amir's video, okay? Why millennial teachers are quitting their jobs. Let's set the volume. Give me 1 second, guys. 25 seems good. Let's go.
Teachers have had enough. A year ago, I dropped a video titled Why Gen Z and Alpha are Making Teachers Quit, and needless to say, that's one of the most popular videos on this channel. And in this video, we're revisiting this topic because, well, the teachers are still quitting. They're leaving in droves, and I want to see if anything's changed, if things got worse, and just get more of the perspectives of these teachers because their voice really matters. Additionally, this video is completely separate from the recent news regarding the potential shutdown of the Department of Education. I have a video coming on that next week. We outline what's going on.
We might look at that too, guys. Education was a scam, Loki. I am a big conspiracy theorist, and I believe every conspiracy out there, 90% of it, okay? But Loki though, I just want to talk about this real quick because in high school I knew this girl, like she was like really sweet, always so nice, and she wanted to become a teacher for an elementary school, like an elementary school teacher, not for some specific elementary school. I think she moved to Mississippi or something. I had to hit her up and see how she's doing, but oh my god, I feel bad if like, you know, her teaching career is also like going this bad because she loved kids. She loves kids and she looked forward to being a teacher. But let's continue.
Who's saying what's Trump's doing. We go through everything, so be sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date on that. Without further ado, let's dive right into this video.
This year has been extremely challenging for me. I'm not sure if, for those of you who are not in education, are aware of what's happening in schools, but it's not easy. I don't think people truly understand what teachers are going through. Lots of children are not told no at home, which makes my job extremely difficult when it comes to having them hold accountability for their actions and their mistakes and following direction.
There's a lot of this that teachers keep talking about, this idea that we aren't raising the children. The children have no parents, it seems like. There's something going on at home that is making the child act so disruptive in the classroom and giving these teachers such a hard time to the point where they quit.
Honestly, I kind of always see these videos about teachers quitting their job, right? And it's always different teachers, different people. Doesn't matter where the school is from, like it's mostly United States, but they all say the same thing. Kids are never told no, kids don't listen. And it feels like parents, they feel the struggle, right? To like, you know what, I have had a long day, here's an iPad. The whole thing with an iPad kid, I feel like that's one of the main issues that's blocking like, you know, their education, their growth and development and shit. Because when I worked at restaurants, right, before this job, if kids were being difficult, parents had their like most, I want to say millennial parents because they look like millennial, they just gave their kids iPads and like biggest headphones and like shit, you know, put it on, or like, you know, coloring book. Like they weren't engaging with the kids. It's like a date night featuring the kids. It wasn't a family night out, it was a date night featuring kids because the kids are gonna iPads are gonna watch the kid while we watch, you know, each other when they're next to us. It was kind of like that.
And keeping their hands to themselves. This year, I have been cursed at by both students and parents. I have been hit, punched repeatedly. And what hurts the most is the lack of support from the families when you are telling them and explaining what their child did. Instead of asking you, are you okay? Or my child did what? They ask you, well, what did you do to make me upset?
That, oh my god, that is so sad because I feel like parents should play, like, they should listen to their child too if a teacher is abusing them, hurting them, shit like that. But if your teacher is telling, like, hey, your child hit me unprovoked, parents, you need to discipline your children. I don't agree with hitting kids, but I do believe in other forms of discipline. Maybe like punish them in other ways, take their electronics away, ground them, make them do chores, make them, like, work out, make them experience like physical pain by making them work out, like, yeah, make them stronger for one day. But coming from restaurants, right, no kids acted like that when I worked. They were always well behaved, and if there were kids running around, parents always had them on like a leash, like, the parent glare, the mom glare, the dad glare, like, hey, sit down, hey, act right, that kind of shit. That kind of happens at public places. That's what I can tell you. But I don't know why the same parents, they don't want to do that with the teachers at school. Even though, like, they know, like, kids are gonna act like kids.
Or are there cameras in the room? The behaviors that I have had to put up with this year
At
are behaviors that I have never experienced.
I could not imagine. I couldn't even imagine teaching, especially this generation. We see how they act in the streets. We see how buck wild they be acting, even in the classrooms and all the fighting. It's expected behavior for like fights to be happening in schools or talking back to the teacher. I get it, but at this rapid of a rate, there is something going on. And what's more alarming is what these teachers always seem to have in common is that the parents are automatically coming to the defense of their reckless child because they
conspiracy time, right? I feel like it's all these stimulants added to a kid's kid's body or like brain that makes them hyper active. Because all the cereal it has sugar in them. Even though if it's like covered by milk or shit, bread has sugar in it, peanut butter has sugar, jelly has sugar, bacon has sugar. It's so hard to find food without sugar. Like natural sugar, it's okay. But like everything, like, apart from the store, grocery store has sugar in it. And then the abundance of screen time. So much blue light burning through kids' retinas, like the brain doesn't get a rest, right? So like when finally they had to sit still for 1 second, their mind is still in a hyperactive state because on the way to class, most likely kids are looking at their phone, they are like probably chit-chatting, having fun, right? And suddenly they're not like programmed, they're not programmed per se, but they aren't kind of simmered down. They aren't like, all right kids, come on, wrap it up. Hi, how about we do all this together, everybody can see kind of shit. It's more like, all right, specific time, everybody's talking, teacher comes in, I kids quiet. And like they had to quiet down, so all that chaos and energy that's like being processed through their bodies is like stuck in their brain. So I guess that's how they act up. I am no psychologist, I am just a conspiracy theorist. Not even a professional one at that.
they don't want to be seen as an embarrassment, I guess. I don't know. But that is a key sign of when you have bad students in the classroom, that's typically a reflection of what's going on at home and these kids are acting out.
As a teacher, this so far, I have cried so much. More than
That's
I
so
have,
sad.
like with all my teaching of years combined. I feel like I have taken off so many days from my mental health because I have not been able to mentally or physically bring myself to school.
I'm sorry, you can tell she work in the classroom and she talk to kids because this woman talks so damn slow. Y'all feel that way? I know it's a little bit of a tangent. Y'all feel like some of these TikTok stories and the people be talking, they talk so slow. They talk in like 0.5. Am I alone? Let me know in the comments below. I just had to say that.
I lucky feel that. I guess it's just a gay guy thing. I don't know that we talk fast and shit like that. I don't know. It just the world is already so like limited. We have so much limited time, and then people want to slow you down by talking so slow. Like, I feel like I just changed my whole energy and attitude as soon as I heard Amir talking. Anyways, let's get back right to the video.
Because I'm sitting here like, you know, let's get to the story.
Education is not in a good place right now. It's really bad. I have so many stories that I could talk about that I will be posting later, but it's time to go. It's time to go. Again, this
It kind of reminds me of like an ad you see on those like Hallmark movies about, you know, every time a company wants to preach like family values and stuff like that, they're just gonna have like a white mom, like almost grandma age, sit over there and be like, I used to be so sad, but I knew I needed to change, so Pancresta is the one that helped me. I knew Pancresta was the right way. I started enjoying life with my grandkids. I can even lift up the family dog now. Stuff like that. Stuff like that.
was not an easy decision, but I do feel that it is necessary for myself and my own mental health.
I'm glad she's doing what she needs to do for her mental health, and I'm glad she's, you know, taking a step back from teaching. But it does concern me, the state of our education. Again, I have another video coming out talking about the Department of Education and mainly what they don't do in our records of our school systems, but everything's just declining.
I'll let him do the hard work and I'll just react to it.
Unfortunately, regarding our public school, whether it be from how well the students are learning, the grades that they have, and their behavior, again, which is mainly all reflective of what's going on at home and not being able to raise a regular decent child.
So let's go over and budget the first ever teacher paycheck I had and what that looks like. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my check history. I started teaching when I
I look like her style, I won't lie.
was 20, so this was in 2018. I can't believe the amount. So the amount of my paycheck was $1,438. Again, $1,438.
No.
A month?
We need to be paying these teachers more. We really do. That's a disgrace. That is so
Is it
sad.
bi-weekly?
That's no shade to anybody making that amount of money. That's not the point I'm making. You doing what you gotta do. You getting your bread. I've been there before. I've taken out so many different loans before. I've done everything under the sun. Okay, I'm not. You make that money a month. I'm not coming at you. What I
A month. He said a month. Hold on.
am coming at is this career path being one of the most important career paths in this nation, which I would compare to a surgeon. These people are creating the lives of this nation. Surgeons protect and help save the lives of this nation. We need to be equipping our teachers with the best tools, the best trainings possible to equip them to do a great job to lead this nation to great success. And we cannot do that if these teachers can barely survive themselves. Not only are local school systems criminal for paying teachers that low of a wage, but honestly, so are the people out there trying to steal the deed of your home, to borrow it against you or steal behind your back. But thanks to today's sponsor, Home.
Okay, well, skip the sponsor, but before that, I just want to see how much she makes an hour, right? So, what was the number again? 1,438. Okay, let's go to Google. 1,438 divided by 2, because let's do it bi-weekly, because it, hold on, new tab, 40 times 4, sometimes it's 160, so 160 hours in a week. Let's just say she works 160 hours in a week, so divided by 160, she roughly makes $9 an hour. What? That is so sad. I don't mean to laugh, it's not, it's funny, but it's sad. I hope that this is at least bi-weekly payment. 1,308. Because what the hell? Oh my god. Anyways, let's get back to the video. Sponsor. Okay. There we go.
you don't have the same fire that you did.
Oh, I like that podcast. I think it was called The Teachers. I used to watch it like way back in the time. Okay, I forgot.
When you first became a teacher, like why? Because y'all have beat us down. You think somebody's gonna continue? There's only so much beating a person can take before they just give up.
Right.
And so people, I'm sick and tired of people saying like teachers always complaining. Like quite frankly, piss off, because we have a lot to complain about. We'll stop complaining when y'all start listening. How about that?
No, for real, because if people listen to their complaint, right, they're complaining that it's the teacher versus the student, the administrator. Oh my god, the admins, the principal, and the parents. It's the 1v4. I guess you can add the government too, who makes the law. So 1v5ing. They're like 1v5ing everything. How are they gonna do that?
And it's so funny because it's all
And then on top of that, they cannot hit one of the 5 opponents. You know, like they can't hit the kids or the parents for lawsuit cases.
always heard this idea like teachers keep complaining, teachers keep whining about their jobs. They have one of the most critical jobs in our nation. First off, if our teachers are sounding the alarm of how our children are behaving, what's going on in the school system, how these kids are acting, how are you going to look at that as complaining when half the time majority of the U.S. goes on Netflix to watch other people complain, watch a fake life, watch some movie, watch some drama TV shows, watch Real Housewives of Atlanta or Real Housewives or any of the reality TV. You got time, you want to watch all.
For real, my sister told me to watch, what's it, Love is Blind or Love Island or something. She's like, it's so good, you have to watch. And I'm like, girl, it's reality show, I don't care about it.
This fakeness, watch what's hipper and hollering. But you want to say teachers are complaining? You want to say teachers are the problem? No, sweetie, our children are the problem.
Yep.
We matching energy now because
I
everybody
agree.
else gets to complain about their job, but it's also
Teachers
one
Off
of those
Duty,
things
that's a
where,
podcast.
You see things, everybody we went to school with, or people that you're in school, our only exposure, if we weren't teachers, our only exposure to education would be as if we had kids that were in school. Once you leave school, you're only exposed. And so unless parents go into the school and see or volunteer or see what's going on in the school, it's there's always going to be a us and them mentality.
Yeah, it's like the only people who really know what's happening in schools is the students and the teachers at the end of the day. Unless the parents are actively there, the only people that do know that can sound the alarms is them. It's kind of like talking about, when talking about the gay community, there are certain things that only gay dudes know. And when we be talking about it, people are like, oh, well, you lying, or you complaining, you talking about this or that. No, because we know what's going on. So with these teachers, they know what's going on. They're some of the only people that actually do.
That's why it's like that with administration. Because it's like y'all were us in the classroom, then you left and you acted brand new, like you don't remember what it was like when you was in the classroom. And so that's where the us versus them mentality comes from. But I feel like our teachers, like back in the day, like they could teach, man.
Yep.
Like it wasn't this focus on like having to be so boxed in, like make sure they know how to find the theme of. I can't never remember my teacher talking about what's the central idea of this passage. I just knew how to find it because I had to read the daggum. I had to read the story.
That's funny. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. It just seems like people are crapping on teachers way too much, and we need to give them grace and understand and really listen to them and understand that they are the ones that actually do know what's going on. And it's funny that the person mentioned the whole us versus them mentality with administration versus the teachers, because I feel so bad for teachers. When I do all this research and I'm going through these videos and we're reacting, we're talking about them, it seems like they're like on this isolated island alone. Unless they're in a really good school district and they have like good.
Even he says what I was saying, the one we find shit. Oh my god, same wavelength. See, great minds think alike. I am smart and everybody else is a bit lower than me. Let's just say that.
Bosses, which everybody can have a bad boss, I guess. It does seem like the teachers are just like on their own. And that's it. It seems like teachers get all these wild expectations of what the students need to be knowing, the grades they need to be having, but the teachers come out of pocket for a lot of the things that's in their classroom, to come up with like how to phrase certain things and really teach their students. They get no trainings, they get no support.
Don't they have like a timeline too? Like you had to have this thing taught by a certain time? Oh, some people are back in my house. Let me just pause and none of the noise gets in. I mean, I was watching Abot Elementary like a while back before, like, I had to cancel Hulu and shit. But Miss Barbara Howard, she was telling Gregory Eddy, the new teacher, about how to, like, no matter what you do, they give them curriculums that are impossible to follow up, because yes, you can teach them, you can teach students at a certain rate, right? But it's not, it depends on the student, right? It depends on how fast they pick it up. So just because you can go fast doesn't mean they're gonna pick it up fast too. So that's like a hindrance as well. That's why like a curriculum can be like bothersome too.
It's weird. It seems like it's getting really weird. And as I've grown up, I've never understood why so many teachers struggle, why so many teachers have to go through all these hoops and loops to teach a classroom. When again, I've said this before, it's one of the most important jobs in this nation is leading our youth to success. So to me, we should be equipping these people with the best tools possible and giving them the best wages possible, because that last wage we just saw is not it. Cannot happen for a teacher. It's unacceptable because it's just stressing them out.
Because I'm saying this just because I see it every day. It breaks my heart as an educator, but I see it every day. Y'all don't care about y'all kids. Y'all don't care about y'all kids' education either. I'm probably gonna get a whole bunch of comments. Oh, you're an educator, you're the teacher, you're supposed to be teaching
Sorry, let me just mute my mic.
my kid, blah, 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 blah. But every behavior starts at home. Y'all, as an educator, we have your kids about 8 hours out of the day. It's 24 hours in a day.
I will say at that point, half the time, there's a lot of teachers who spend more time with children than the parents do. Because a lot of times parents come home, they're chilling at home, they're watching, or they'll cook dinner and then like watch a show and go to bed. Like the kids like outside or playing games. There's a lot of people who spend more time with the teachers than they do their own parents.
It makes it no better.
Also, to add another thing, right? Teachers are always like, I mean, students, teachers, they're always rotating class, so you don't even see the same teacher all throughout the day. So they can't even make an argument like, you see my kid more than I do. I'm like, it's like, I may be the homeroom teacher, but I am not the science teacher. I am not the math teacher. I'm not the English teacher. So I don't even see your kid for the whole 8 hours of the day, you know? Anyways.
Better when we have parents that don't meet us halfway.
People who spend more time
Sorry,
with
I kind of
the
interrupted
teachers
them
than
with the
they do
wrong
their own
place.
parents.
It makes it no better when we have parents that don't meet us halfway. It also breaks our heart when we send in emails and y'all don't respond to the emails. It also makes it harder when we send text messages and y'all got your red receipts on and we see you read it and you still don't say nothing.
I don't know why. Like, damn, don't you want to know? My mom is always like, she's like, oh my god, what are your teachers saying about you? I'm gonna go to the next teacher parent meeting. Like, girl was always so on my ass about school, but these people, they don't even want to reply to their teacher. Like, damn. Like, back in India, right? I don't know how laws were or like are, but my mom had my teachers on Facebook, and I had them too. Like, that's how fucking, tight everybody was. Like, it's like the parents want to be nosy. The parents wanted to be nosy in the children's life. It's like people had no privacy back then, and now it's like people have no parents. That's just what it feels like.
Yes, it does break our heart, but we see you don't even care about your child. Y'all, back in the day, I got in trouble at school. My teacher didn't call my mom. I got bad grades. My mom was either coming up to the school, setting up parent-teacher conferences, or calling my teacher. These new generations of parents don't do that for these kids that honestly need it.
See, back then, no privacy. I mean, it feels bad saying it. I mean, that's a legitimate concern. Like, why is my child failing? I'm just trying to make things light, but today, no parents. It's like living with it's like maybe these parents treat their children like a younger sibling, like way too a huge age gap younger sibling, maybe.
So all I'm saying is, parents, we want to see y'all kids excel to the highest potential that they have. And we can't do that if at home is all dysfunctional.
You can't. That's really what it boils down to. It boils down to the home of the child and what is going on there. Because without that being in place, tangent ADHD. I just thought about the Asians and how the Asian cohort, Asian people, the data reflects that they have, some of the highest grades. Why? Because their culture is really heavy on academics and getting good grades. So when you have the home structure in place and you have parents taking care of your children, they typically fare well in school. But if
You know what's ironic though? I mean, he's talking about like Asian Americans usually, but I've usually recently, like maybe 1 to 3 days ago, started seeing these videos pop up on my YouTube For You page or YouTube timeline about how Asian schools or like school kids in Asian schools, like in Asian countries like China, South Korea, they are so stressed that like they, you know, O double F themselves because of school stress and shit like that. And that shit is so scary. It's like over here, that's barely any discipline. Over there, it's way too fucking strict, and kids have a lot of pressure. Damn, it's like literally two extremes. Where is the fucking middle ground? Who knows?
If it's a free-for-all at home, then it's a free-for-all at school, and we're seeing that being displayed. And teachers, don't matter what district they're at, whether it's Cali, New York, Chicago, Seattle, Houston, teachers all over America are sounding the alarm of I don't know where the hell these millennials and Gen X parents are, but they need to come up and parent because the
Houston.
kids are acting up.
I quit education 2 years ago. I was a teacher for 8 years. I have a master's degree in education. Ultimately, the reasons that I left was because I realized how bad it was getting and that absolutely nobody was doing anything to make it better. I looked around and I said, I am 29 years old. I cannot do this until I retire. Like, absolutely nobody is coming. And the issues that we were experiencing were ones that had been steadily increasing since I became a teacher.
You know what's sad? Over here in the States, you have to go to school for like 4 years to get a degree to be able to teach at school, and I like do some. I'm not sure if you have to do it after you get a degree or while you get a degree, but you have to also be like an assistant teacher and stuff like that. And then to get a teaching job, you have to go through all these like hoops, and it's basically years of training, right? You put in your years and a lot of money because college is really expensive to become a teacher, but then ultimately you decide not to have it as a career. It's like so much time wasted, so much money down the drain, and all because you decided to go to like a career that you thought could help people, but instead there's nobody helping you over there. It's just fucking you up instead.
And that's why, like, if you ask a teacher who's been in the classroom for 15, 20 years, those are, the veteran teachers, what was it like when you started and what is it like now? They'll say it was a different world. This is not what we signed up for. This is not what people thought they were getting into.
It is a different world, especially when it comes to technology. I get that technology has changed the landscape of teaching, but I feel like technology should only change how teaching is done, not necessarily the behaviors of the children in class. Granted, back in the day, they did paddle.
All I'm gonna say is that was a sweet time between the today's time and after the pedaling got banned. And it's just the parents, they were strict on their kids. Like they knew how to discipline kids back then, even without the paddles, right? Like not everybody watching. I'm pretty sure not a lot of people got hit growing up, but they still turned out to be decent people. Yeah, not a lot of kids got hit growing up, they turned out to be decent people. Yeah, that's a coherent sentence. Anyways, let's go back to it.
Do we need to bring that back? Do we need to start beating kids?
Oh, no.
That'll never pass. I'm just about our nation's history. If you didn't know, for all my people outside the United States, people used to get paddled. I remember my parents signed a waiver when I was in my school down here in Tennessee in 7th grade, 7th and 8th grade. I was in between states at the time. In the handbook, there was something about paddling. No one got paddled, but it was still in the handbook. Maybe beating children was actually like doing something. I'm so horrible. I don't know. But teaching's definitely different. And the veteran teachers are all sounding the alarms like a lot of these teachers are.
Lack of support from parents, lack of support from admin, student behavior, the implications of testing and that being tied to your job, the student's performance tied to your job performance. I don't want to go into my forever sleep because people brought things to schools and local areas could do nothing about it. Pay is horrendous. I was making $47,000 as a teacher with a master's degree.
$47,000. That's it for the whole year. And I think I heard somewhere like you can either have your checks broken down so you can get paid throughout the summer, or you can get it all, at the same time, and then you don't get paid for the summer and you just have to like budget it. And summer in the States, it's like 3 months long, going from June, July to like the end of August. So like beginning of June to end of August, 3 months. So 3 months with no paycheck, and they usually have to get a second job because they get paid so little. Oh my god.
And 8 years of experience. Schools are deeply under-resourced, and the public is actively trying to defund public education.
Well, like I said, we're gonna get into that in another video, but I will say I heavily do think that it's a community responsibility, the local community, to be really invested in childcare and be really invested in the school system to really understand what your students being taught, who are the teachers, what's going on. I think it should be brought down all the way to the local level, and everybody needs to be heavily active. We don't need this big overarching government telling us what we need to be doing when our large school systems are failing. Nothing is changing. Everything's getting worse. Students are just, the grades are plummeting, behavior is plummeting, and it all ties back into home, really.
I will bring up another point about TikTok teachers, and I don't mean like this lady who's talking about her experience. It's more about those teachers who are like, hi guys, this is my classroom. We talk about, let's just say, some random dumb political shit over here, which either parents on the left or the right disagree with. It's like people talk about being super right, like, oh, we don't worship the gays over here, gay people can burn in hell. Or it's like people on the super left who are like, I am gay, I'm all these alphabets, I am non-binary, transgender croissant alphabets. And that's what parents see, right, on TikTok, because everybody has some sort of social media, whether it's TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. So parents are like, this is what my, child is learning in school. No wonder, like, these teachers, they can't do shit. No wonder my child is acting out, because my child knows the shit is stupid. It's like, take the TikTok out of the classroom. I guess, you are a teacher, right? Just because you're a teacher doesn't mean you need to like show your political views on TikTok. Just, can we go back to like when politics was basically, I don't tell you mine, you don't tell me yours. We mind our own business.
It's home. Are there bad teachers? Yes. Is there bad administration? Yes. But are there bad parents? More than obviously, yes. Is there bad behavior? Again, more than obviously, yes. And something needs to change with that. It starts with the home. A lot of this starts with home. It starts with, how are you managing your children? What are you teaching them? How are you raising them to be a productive human in this society? And we cannot be productive in this society. We cannot have a great society. We cannot have fruitful, all these things, and be all loving and utopia, nice, and fighting and this and that, if no one's being raised. Look at the chaos out there in the streets, the looting, the robbing. Ooh, don't get me started. Do not. I'm over it. I'm just frustrated at this conversation that the student's behavior is so bad. I get the lack of support, but the student behavior is so bad, and I feel bad for the student because it's their parents' responsibility to parent, and they're not doing that. On top of the laundry list of other things this woman just outlined on why it has been bad to be a teacher and why they quit, we need to be addressing these things ASAP. But when I say we need to be addressing these things, I'm not saying the government needs to step in and do this and this. That clearly hasn't been working. What needs to happen is people just need to care. People need to start caring about their local community, local neighborhoods. Do you even know your neighbor? Do you meet your neighbor? I done greeted all my neighbors with pies and greeted myself, get my number.
I'm kind of on that. I know my neighbors, not by the names, but if we make eye contact, I'll wave at them and just make small talk, but I don't know their names. But honestly, mostly like it's like older people, not even people my age. It's like grandma, grandpa age people who always wave and say hello and shit. People my age, they just avoid eye contact. Damn.
Hey, I'm here. Let me know if you need anything. Like, do you actually know your neighbors? Even if you're in an apartment, are you friends with them? Do you know the people on your floor? Do you know the managers? Like, we need to be more active and participating in what's going on in our daily lives, and too many of us aren't.
Let's take a big guess. What grade do you think is it that teachers leave from the most?
My guess is 9th or 7th, around that grade. Yeah, that seems like a good one.
Put it in the comments.
I'm gonna say 7th grade.
Oh, him.
7th or 8th grade. Cause ooh, them baby kids. Ooh, if you
Because that's when the kids start becoming like, oh, I'm my own person now. I'm all grown up, you know? They kind of mellow out by like 16, 17, 18. But yeah, around that time is when they like get like, I'm a grown ass man, I'm a grown ass woman kind of shit.
do you know what baby? Let me know in the comments below if you know what Baby Kids is. That's an incredible movie. But yeah, I would say 7th or 8th grade.
And if you took the wild guess of middle school, you're correct. Let me just tell you, middle school teachers leave in droves. And you know what's so crazy? A lot of them say they left because they couldn't handle the kids. So literally, teachers are leaving because they don't know how to manage kids in a classroom. And here's what I have to say about that. I honestly think that literally most people in the world cannot manage kids and cannot teach kids. And honestly, that is really sad because
No, seriously, like, those kids, they think they know shit. So that's why they don't want to listen to you. That's just how they are at that age. You know, you can't do anything. It's just puberty, it's just growth. And it's at the point when kids start noticing like parents are kind of doing what they they don't do what they say. They preach, but they don't follow what they preach. And they're like, damn, my parents are flawed in this way. These adults ain't shit. I am so much better than them. That's how they start thinking around that age. I mean, you know, parents are gonna be flawed as human nature. I mean, I say that. Probably my mom may be listening outside the door, but you know, I'm not gonna improve on that.
if you as an adult let kids run you out of a job, I think that says more about you as a person than it says about the kids.
I don't think it's that clear because
I also agree with him, Amir, and I disagree with that lady over there because one kid, okay, we can handle one kid. Two kid, yeah. It's like 20 kids in a classroom. How are you gonna do that? It's like 20 people screaming about the same nonsense at you. And it's like your voice against 20 other voices. Ma'am, that doesn't work. Also, 20 kids in one classroom, but then you had to go to a different classroom and deal with a different 20 kids. And 6th grade kids are different from 7th grade kids, and so forth and so on. So on and so forth, sorry. I don't know what you're thinking, girl. I don't know. Like, we cannot just be like, all of you little pieces of shit, shut the fuck up or something, you know, slapping the hell out of y'all.
I think if there's a consensus that there's no admin support and then you have no parents actually parenting, if these kids don't respect adults, if they don't listen to you, how do you expect to teach them?
Because again, they are not allowed to get punished, right? Most the teachers can do is send them to the principal's office. Now, over there, who knows what happens? According to Abbott Elementary, Principal Ava Coleman gave that kid a little toy and sent him back to the classroom. And then she called the teacher himself to her office in front of everybody, making it sound like he was in trouble. So funny. It's a funny show. You should watch it if you get a chance. Pirate it. Because I'm not paying Hulu hella money. Because honestly, Hulu is way too expensive. I don't even know why. Maybe I like maybe 1 or 2 shows on there. Like, I get that all along and Abbott Elementary. I don't remember watching any other show. Oh, Common was a good one. But only had 2 seasons, so it doesn't count.
Get it. That 7th, 8th grade, like...
Wait, I'm sorry. I get that all along was Disney Plus. So that doesn't even count. So I'm right with my number 2.
Guessed it because how basically puberty is on the rise. To teach them, I get it. That 7th, 8th grade, I guessed it because how basically puberty is on the rise. On the rise, like that's when puberty is happening. Attitudes are flaring, fights are happening, people talking back, the whole 9. I get that. But there still is a basic level of respect that is needed. And if we're collectively seeing on the rise poor behavior happening, like even more imaginable that's making like everybody quit in droves, I wouldn't necessarily say it's the teacher's fault, it's the adult's fault because they don't know how to manage a classroom of children. No, there are teachers who don't know how to do that for sure. There are teachers who are better apt to teach first, second, third grade than they are middle school. They can't handle it. But to say that's the main reason why, I can't get behind. I really do think it is what's going on at home and how people aren't raising their kids anymore.
Because you were not able to successfully self-regulate your emotions in order to do a job that is literally so dire and necessary. Like, if kids can get you out of your emotions so much so that you leave your job, you need therapy. You need therapy. And granted, I know that schools are chaotic right now and teachers don't have the support that they need. However, I truly believe that all adults should be able to stand in front of a classroom and teach something and manage those kids in order to effectively teach.
Okay, I think she's a teacher. I don't know, but how much time do you have to spend managing and how much time do you have to spend teaching? Because again, keep in mind, teaching is looking like a race against the clock because you had to get the curriculum, ready by the time their midterms are there. So if you spend, 20 minutes of your class managing students, all you have left is to teach them like 40 minutes worth of content in 20 minutes. And there are kids who are going to ask questions which is gonna make those 20 minutes into 10 minutes. That's why what she's saying is not really practical.
Teach them something. You know what that says about society? That a lot of people are mentally weak and a lot of people need to seek out therapy in order to grow mentally. So that
Also, another point, the way she talks about therapy, like these teachers get paid enough to be able to afford therapy. Don't one session doesn't one session cost like $150 for like literally an hour?
there could be drastic change in society.
I get it. There are a lot of weak people out there, but I also understand and we see the videos on the rise of literally children beating and fighting the teachers. What do you expect them to do? On top of the piss poor salary.
That too, like piss poor salary, and then she wants them to get therapy. But then what about the injuries they're getting? Like what if they need stitches, some, whatchamacallit, the needle thingy, injections in your veins, or like have a severe injury and like need to like fix up in the hospital.
Like, no, that's a little harsh. She has some points, but no, I do not. That's a first. That is a first on the channel and seeing that perspective from a teacher. I'm not gonna say her perspective doesn't matter, valid in some forms, but just blanket statements say, nah, y'all are weak, y'all know how to manage your kids. No, I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Overall, it is apparent that there needs to be a very quick and abrupt change within our public education system. Again, be sure to subscribe. I have another video coming out on the Department of Education and everything going on with that. But in this video specifically talking about why millennials teachers are quitting their jobs, they're quitting their jobs in droves because mainly it seems like the lack of support from the administration and the lack of support from the parents. Because yes, some of these kids are acting a fool, they're acting up, and they're making teachers quit. But again, they're children, they're kids. And it's a parent's responsibility to take care of their kid. And when they're not doing that, is it really the child's fault for not having a parent? I feel bad for them. I feel bad for the bad kids out there.
See, he also said not having a parent. Oh my god, Lixue, you are so on point. Psychic. I'm a psychic.
I feel bad for all the kids that, spend more time with their teachers than their own parent, and the parent just does not care about their grades, what's going on in school, they're not active. It's sad. It really is. And I do think there needs to be a shift culturally on how we're raising our children. And I don't need to have a kid to say that or have that point. We can all acknowledge when something's going downhill, and we all can acknowledge our education system as a whole is a hot mess. And I'm hoping with all the adjustments that will be coming, again, with the Department of Education and shifting things around and more focus on your local community and focus on your local school board and meeting your teachers and being involved in your child's life, we can create true change in this nation and in our communities. But it's clear it starts with you. If you are someone that works in admin, how can you be better at your job and support other people and help train other people to be better at their job? If you are a teacher, what can you do to ask your admin for more help? What can you do to help other teachers around you to help them out? And if you are a student, my metrics don't say that they are, but if you're someone in school watching this, what can you do to be a better student? What can you do to help your teacher out more? I was such a teacher's pet in middle school and high school to the 10th degree, and I still talk to all my teachers now. Shout out to y'all. I love you guys so much. I even
Cannot
skipped
relate.
lunch mainly
Depends on the
all
teacher.
my senior year of
Depends
high
on
school
the
to help
school
out my
too.
freshman year teacher. I should go see her. I'm gonna hit her up.
I think that's the end of the video, and we ended on an ad.
I'm gonna hit her
No.
up. Anyways, I was a teacher pet. Do that. Help your teachers
Sorry.
out. But at the end of the day, a lot of this seems to boil back down to personal responsibility, because I do feel bad for all these teachers because they are very important, like I said before, and I'll stand on that. I think teaching is an essential job just as much as a heart surgeon. You know, a heart surgeon's job is to help save a life, but what is a life if it's just treated like it's nothing? If it's not being educated, it's not learning, it's not being reprimanded, it doesn't have a parent at home, not learning anything in school, no support. What's the point of it? You know, we need to be helping and really pushing forward for our students to be thriving in every possible way. So I only hope that you're out there being vocal and doing what you can in your local community, in your life, whether it be as a parent, as a teacher, as someone in admin, as someone who's friends with one of those. What are you doing to help spread the good vibes, the good word, and good ideas to help foster a better planet for us all? What are you doing? That's really the main question. So with that being said, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. As always, I'm so appreciative of your support. It means the world to me. Liking the video, sharing the video, subscribing helps the channel grow a ton. I'm so mind blown that we're almost at 600,000 subs. It's absolutely insane to me that it's grown that fast, but wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So again, as always, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Do know, always remember, you are in control of your life, and there's nothing that you cannot achieve if you don't put your mind to it. So put your mind to it, do what you gotta do to get there, lock in, tunnel vision, I say at the end of every video, focus on you and only you, and you will achieve all the goals and dreams you set out for yourself. So if you don't believe in that, no one else will, and neither will this universe. So do what you gotta do to take care of yourself. Much love, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Deuces.
This is Amir. Bye-bye, Amir. Interesting video, dang. But yeah, I guess at the bottom of the core, it's just that it's them against like a lot of people and they have no support. That is the main message. It's like so weird because they always say it, but it's like nobody's listening. And I guess that's why the government is trying to like reform the education system. I don't know. I'm not an educator. I don't have kids. I'm not gonna have kids, so it's not my problem. For now, at least. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll be president, dictator, and we'll see how things go then. But for now, no, nothing like that, you know. But, you know, that is all I have for today. And honestly, I don't know if I will be posting tomorrow, but if I do, it's gonna be something fluffy and, you know, less serious than the last two, including this one. Than the last two episodes. It's gonna be like something Ichisanji or something like super fluffy, because I don't like dark shit like that. It just kind of brings my mood down. I don't like it. Okay, I like living in an echo chamber where everything is nice, happy, and bubbly. And Hyuna, I couldn't find literally anything on her trying to like prove if she's trying to leave K-pop or anything. So that was a dead end. And then this video just came out, so I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. But this is where I will leave it today. Oh, the background music for today is gonna be Kafka's theme from Honkai Star Rail. Maybe I'll talk about it tomorrow if I do upload. I don't know though. Honestly, it's gonna be a surprise. You'll find out. So will I. We will all find out because I have been like avoiding sugar post for the past 4 days now, and yesterday and today I have been so lethargic. I mean, mostly yesterday. That's why I didn't post the video. Like day before yesterday too, I was like so lethargic. That's why yesterday I didn't post a video because I didn't think I could stay up, and I was like sleeping like a log all throughout the day and night. Getting off sugar is so tiring. Like you didn't know how much you depend on that shit until you find out. Like damn. And for somebody who's been taking it since who knows how many years now, non-stop every day, and getting off like cold turkey all of a sudden, it's really hard on your body. And I would like, if you think about doing it, I would say make sure you have a few days off ahead of you. But according to people on Reddit, it's supposed to be like easy after like the 5th or 6th day, and then your first 2 weeks are the hardest, but then it gets better. So we're almost there, just like 8 more days. Oh my god, okay. You know what? We can do this. Alright. Bye bye. Good night. Pieces. I am gonna go either sleep or poop or play games. Whichever one comes first. Actually, edit, post, and then do either of those. Okay, bye now.